Hey guys, today we're working on another generator. This is a little tiny guy. It's a King Canada brand. It's a 950 watts peak with a 800 watt running wattage rating. This has a little 2-horse, 2-stroke. So you mix the gas in it. It's a 50-to-1 mix. And I was just checking out some stuff and I pulled the cap off and I found something interesting in here. This little cup, well, it's got some crud in it. Let's get rid of that crud out of there first. This little cup is graduated. It has measurements on it. See if I can find them and put them on camera here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to pick that up. Maybe just see it on the light there. See, there's measurements there. And this is for mixing your 2-stroke. I plucked it out of the tank like this, but it's got a little stud on the bottom. It looks like it's supposed to pop into that hole and stay there. We'll see if we can get it to stay in. Oh, there we go. Secure now. So that sticks in the cap like this, and you fill up the appropriate amount of oil, 2-stroke oil in there, and then you would dump it in the tank and mix the gas in the tank, which I don't personally like to do. I like to mix it in my gas can first and then pour it in the tank, but not needed on this unit. So the complaint about this one is a no start. Customer put fresh gas in it. It had been sitting for a while. I'm not sure how long. It does have gas in it. I've tried, I've pulled it over. It's not stuck. I did check for spark already. That's okay. I think what's happened is the carburetor's got gummed up and just with old fuel. What we're going to do is we're going to pull the front piece off. This piece is that's your air filter cover. It's a whole air filter housing actually. A couple of Phillips screws. Pop this off. What I want to do is I want to open up the drain on the fuel bowl of the carburetor if there is one, and see if there's any trouble that's going to be obvious in there. There's our cover. I decided not to pull covers off yet. I'm just going to pull that fuel bowl off, turn the fuel tank. The fuel valve is off. Pull the bowl off. See what kind of mess is in there. It's a 10mm bolt on the bottom of this. It feels gummy, sticky. Could be an O-ring that's getting a little tired, or it could be the fuel. Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. There is an O-ring there. It's a little flat and warped. Maybe we'll put a new one on. Whew! Stanky. See if we can get that bowl to come off. Gently now. The trouble with sometimes getting into this older stuff is the gaskets and O-rings and things get tired and then they get destroyed when you take them apart, and that's not really what I want to do. Okay, the bowl is off. Looks like the gasket survived. I'll show you what's going on in there. Let's get a light on there. I'm going to wipe my hands so I want to be touching my camera with my stinky old varnishy hands. And that's what we got going on in there right now. One off. One off. That one off. Get the plate off of there. I don't want to force it, so as long as I get enough clearance to work on the carburetor, we'll be okay. Oh, that's good enough. That's alright. Everything else seems to look okay in there. It's full of sawdust in here. the place that the place this machine came out of is covered in a perpetual layer of sawdust. Okay, see what comes out of that. It's dribbling. Fuel clamp is going to fall on the floor, you watch. See what comes out when I turn the tap on now. There we go. A little bit of crud coming out. That's actually blue. That's fresh fuel now. So we know the carburetor is getting fuel from the tank. Grab pliers. So on top of here, that's the spring that connects the carburetor throttle plate to the governor arm. And it's got a spring wrapped around it. So we're going to gently try and get that spring out of there without adjusting its tension. Tiny little machine, hard to get. Well, we'll do it the other way. Slide the carburetor off first. And get this fuel line to stay out of the way. There we go. Well, that ain't going to do it either. Oh, there. I have it now. Okay, spring is released. And each side of this, each end of this has a Z bend in it. So I can't really get it out very easy. Can't get enough travel. The studs are so long I can't get enough travel to pull anything out. Alright, let's see if I can get those studs out of there. I'm going to try double nut method. Put 2 nuts on the stud. Run that one down. Run the second one down. Grab 2 wrenches and tighten them together. 10. Huh. I'll try and get as much thread on there as I can. I don't want to strip anything out. Wrench on the back one now. Wrench on the front one. Just tighten them down together. Let's see if we can turn that stud out. Alright, so what I did was I slid the carburetor out. I grabbed a pair of vice grips on the smooth part of the stud back here. I didn't want to damage any threads, and I just cracked them loose out of the block with the vice grips. So now this should work. The issue I'm having with these nuts is it's the back side of this flange nut has got teeth on it, so the nuts are not really tightening up very well together. There we go, that's spinning right out of there nice now. Easy peasy. Right out. Grab that gasket in behind there. Very thin gasket. Okay, gasket's out and in good shape. Hands full of stuff. Both studs are out. Now I can just tilt this carburetor and unhook the Z bend. There we are. Come on, focus. So there's a Z bend at the throttle side and a Z bend at the governor side. Give me a little grief. Okay, so there's a little jet on the side here. It's completely, come on, there we go. Completely plugged up. Varnish. This is it looks wet and shiny, but it's actually not. It's dry. It's like a shellac that's on there. Coating. The gas evaporates. See down in there? The gasoline evaporates and it leaves the oil alone, and then everything just gets gummed up. So I'm going to clear a spot on the bench, and I'm going to take this apart. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna reposition the camera to a clear spot on the bench, and we'll get this thing going. Alright, I don't need to tear all kinds of stuff out of this carburetor. I want to get that little jet out of the top here. 7. Okay, 7 turns. That doesn't need to go in the sonic cleaner. Let's get that little pilot out of there. Let's get that float off of there. Slide the pin out. Needle is stuck and I don't want to break the little tiny wire that holds it in there. Let me get a tiny screwdriver and I'll try and pry that needle out of there. It is sticky. There we go. Oh, that's gummy. That's real sticky. Gently now. There we go. Ugh, grody. There's a problem. Now that needle has got a rubber seat. Yes, it's a rubber seat. So I don't want to stick that. Where are you looking? I don't want to stick this in this ultrasonic cleaner. The heat and that cleaner might deteriorate the tip. So I'm gonna do that by hand. A little bit of carb cleaner on a rag. This jet on the side, I probably don't need to take it out because it goes right through to the center tube, but I got a screwdriver in my hand, we might as well use it. Gummy. So you've seen in previous videos where I've taken a spray can lid, poked a bunch of holes in it, so I can put tiny parts like that in it and not lose them in the ultrasonic. So my daughter's into fancy teas, so she's got tea infusers and diffusers and all kinds of things, so I didn't want to use one of hers because I'd get in trouble for that. So I went to the dollar store and I bought me one of these. So this is designed, you put loose tea leaves in there, close her up, and you drop it in your hot water. It's got this little chain on it. I extended it with a piece of rope so chain doesn't fall into the sonic cleaner, but I'm going to give this a shot. This will hold all my tiny parts, allows cleaner to get all through everything. The lid is attached so it's not going to fall off. So I'm going to put the little tiny jet in there. I'm going to put this pilot jet in there. And I'll put the pin in there for the float. Carburetor tea? Anyone? Okay, warming up. Not quite at operating temperature yet. I have no idea what just fell. Quick blow, get rid of the sawdust out. Sawdust everywhere. In your bath there, little carburetor. In your bath. Give her a shake, make sure there's no bubbles trapped in it, because bubbles are not going to get, if there's bubbles in there, wherever the bubbles are is not going to get clean. 480 seconds, 8 minutes. Give her. Alright, so the carb's out of the carb cleaner now. I've got these gloves on because this carb cleaner stinks. It's a clean flow carburetor and metal parts cleaner, and it reeks. And it doesn't matter how many times you wash your hands. It takes weeks to get this smell out of there. It gets right in your skin. I'm sure it isn't good for you. Let's see how well this worked. So let's get that popped in there. Should be pretty straightforward. It's brass threads and aluminum body. Just has to be snug. Snug enough that it doesn't vibrate out. But you definitely don't want to start tearing threads out. Got a little jet in there. Get in your home. Again, I can't feel anything with these gloves on. Oh, I just got something that might work. Actually, I forgot I bought it. A neat little tool. So this tool is spring loaded. See, the center is on an angle. So what you do is you lock it back like this, so it's flat, and you can insert it. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck in the hole there of the jet. You insert the jet on there and just push, and that centerpiece twists back to where, it works all right. Well, now that's one of my favorite, that's my favorite tool of the day. Here we go. Look at that. Easy peasy. Just give it a pull and off it pops. Well, there we go. New jet tool. See what happens when you don't pay attention when you take stuff apart? Good thing somebody made a video of this. I can go back and see see where I messed up. That looks a lot better now. Pins through. That seems to be working. So ideally, get you tilted up a little bit here. So ideally you want your float level to be very close to parallel with the bowl surface. Yep, working good. Let's get our gasket on there. The drain that I used to empty the float bowl was directly under the fuel line. Oh, that's a little stretched. Hopefully we can get it to stick in there. Oh yeah, just... Okay. So that's sitting good. Looks alright. Looks alright. Get that O-ring on there. Snug her down. Just going to twist this a little bit. Might give us easier access next time we need to open it. Just a little. Yep, it looks good. Anybody remember where this goes? How many turns in? I don't think I'll be able to do this with gloves. Maybe. Okay, it's just started. Just started in there. It was 7 turns, right? 7. Okay. Well, that's our starting point anyways. Spotless. Nice and clean. It's like the day it was born. Alright, let's get that carb mounted on there. You seeing what I'm seeing? Okay. Get that in there. A little Z bend. Now I'm juggling everything. The spring hooked up underneath. Okay. Alright. Okay. Looks like we're winning. We get this hooked into the governor arm. Get the spring hooked in there as well. At the same time, that way it'll hold everything together for us. There. Perfect. Start that stud. I'll get this stud in there. Make sure I've got the gasket in behind the carburetor there. Make sure that doesn't swing around just like that. Start the stud. That's holding everything for us. We get this one spun in there. And we can take our double nut off. After we get it snugged up. Go. I'm in here, so I'm going to check the fuel line, see if it's rotted. It's not, looks okay. Got our clamp on there. Fuel line back up. Get it on there good. Make sure it's on there far enough. Spring clamp back on. There, that should be good. And what I want to do is I want to run it with this cover loose like this so I can make sure that everything is going to So I can adjust with the governor and everything. I do have to hook this back up. One wire that I took off. Just check, do a quick check on everything. Looks good. Choke it, switches in the run position. Okay, I'll back you guys up. Back up, way back. And fingers crossed. Let's get that off like governor. Okay, let's see. Alright, I just kicked the garage door open, getting a little smoky in here, running 2-stroke. Sounds a little rough. That plug might be carboned up. I'll pull the spark plug out at some point to check it. Actually, I'll do that now. Want it running right, make sure we get the RPM set and the frequency right. Give it a quick wire brush and check the gap. Where are we at? $30. We'll throw it back in. Could just be burning off a little residual garbage that was up in the engine. Top of the piston probably got a bunch of old gas and rubbish on it. Plug wasn't very tight. It's good now. Okay, let's fire it up again and do a little more testing. Contact. Park choke. Seeing what I've seen? Nope. A little on the high side. Two strokes, not going to hurt it too much. That's not very high for a 2-stroke. 3620, 3610. There's our AC voltage. That's not very high. Let's check that. Alright, what I did was I took the one lead out of here and put it on the ground of the machine. So it's got a floating neutral or floating ground or something. I think it's floating neutral it's called, I'm not sure. I'm not an electrician. I'm a grease monkey. Anyways, just about the 60 hertz mark, that's not bad. But it's also no load, so let's put a small load on it. I say a small load for my generator, but for this one it's going to be a big load. I'm going to plug my heat gun in. Guys, if you're going to be doing this, be very, very careful. You got this open wires. Okay, so that heat gun is on low. They've really loaded that. It does run much smoother under a load though. Check voltage under load. Okay, voltage under load. It is quite a bit of load for the generator. And that's on low for the heat gun. We're going to leave it at that. We'll back it out, we'll get covers and everything put back on it, fire it up again and let it run for a little while. I'm going to put some seafoam in that tank along with that fuel and hopefully it'll, straighten everything out. Hold tight, we'll get the covers on. Alright, so what I did was I shut the fuel valve off and I opened up that drain on the bowl of the carburetor and drained the fuel out. I put some seafoam in the tank, swished it around really good. Turn the fuel valve back on so I know that there's seafoam in the carburetor for sure. I got about a 150 watt light on there right now. That 150 watt light actually put a small load on that generator, enough to smoothen out the hunt. So it had a bit of a hunting idle. And with that air filter box and everything put on there, it's very, very quiet. Now this is only rated at 57 decibels, so that's it's small. It's quiet. It works pretty good. I'm going to let that run for a little bit, and before I bring it back to the customer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the fuel valve off and let it run out of fuel. Once the carb is empty, it'll stall. Then you flip it over on choke and start it up, and just keep trying to start it until it just won't fire anymore. That way you know for sure the carburetor is empty, and that is the best way to store it. If you want to store it with fuel in it, that's fine. Make sure you have stabilizer, seafoam, K100, whatever is your preference. So make sure the carburetor is empty. That's the best way to do it. So until the next video, here's another little quick one. Thanks for joining me on this one. A little custom repair. I don't do many custom repairs, but I do once in a while. Please don't forget to subscribe. Smash that like button, a thumbs up. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos. And until the next video, take care, and we'll see you later.